Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm creating 3 fun summer projects using my Cricut machine. I recently shared a summer project tutorial and had such a great time making it, so I'm excited for this video. This time, I'll be personalizing luggage tags, cute little drink floaties, and a summer-themed bookmark. I hope this video inspires you to start crafting something fun this summer. I'll be using Teckwrap Craft vinyl in this video. They've got a great promotion happening right now on their mini bundles, which includes both pastel and basic color options. All the vinyl I'm using today is from the Pastel bundle. I just love the soft and pretty colors, so I'm excited to use it for my summer projects. What's even better is they are offering free shipping within the United States on these bundles. I also always have my code Kayla for 5% off your order. They sent this bundle over to me and I'm excited to test it out today. I'm kicking off this video by personalizing some fun luggage tags. These are made with a type of plastic which works well for vinyl. I found them on Amazon. I'll have everything linked down in my description box if you're wanting to create these projects too. You can personalize these with names, but I'm going to add a fun design to them. I think they are great to make for kids. I also love how versatile these are. You can easily attach them to suitcases, but also backpacks, sports bags, golf bags, things like that. I chose 3 colors I'm going to be using and matched up vinyl colors for those. In choosing colors, I wanted it to kind of match up with the luggage tag, but I also wanted to make sure there was enough contrast between the colors. In my last video, the can coolers I made, I loved, but a couple of the vinyl colors were just a little too similar to the cooler, so I'm trying to make sure all of these match up well. I'm going to measure these. The width was 4.312. Sometimes I just don't understand why they don't make these like in quarters, like why not make it 4.25? But this one was easy, it was 2.5 for the height. I am double checking for the other ones to make sure they're the same size. The card insert has writing on both sides, and I want to be able to see my vinyl writing clearly, so what I'm going to do is cut out cardstock and glue it on one side, so it'll make it a lot easier to see my vinyl design. The measurements for this is pretty easy. It's 3.5 for the width and 2 for the height. Now I'm in Cricut Design Space and I'm going to put my design together. I'll go up to New Project and Blank Canvas. I'm going to grab a square first. This is going to be a guide and it's going to be the size of my luggage tag. I'll type that in here. It was 4.312 by 2.5. Next, I'm going to grab a rounded square. This is going to be my white cardstock. I'll change the color to white, then I'll size this. It was 3.5 inches by 2 inches. I'm just going to highlight over both of these. I'll go to Align Center. Next, I'll grab the image that I want to use. I found this off Creative Fabrica. I have a membership with them, so that's where I get the majority of my images and fonts. But look what Cricut Design Space does now. It automatically pops up with images that are similar to the one you upload. So clearly they are wanting you to use their own images. One thing with this is it's going to be pretty tiny, and these are a lot of tiny little dashes, so I'm not sure if it's going to be the easiest to work with, but we'll see. I'm just going to line this up in here. I want it to kind of be on the edge so it looks like it's flying into here. The luggage tags do have a little cutout circle, so I want to make sure this isn't going all the way over. I also want to grab a font. I'm using BFC Autumn Harvest. I think I found this on Etsy. I'll link it if I can find the download for it. I'm going to type in "let the adventure begin." I'm also going to decrease the line space. It's up here towards the top. I'm going to make it fit kind of in the middle here. I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to select both of these. I just hit Shift on my keyboard to select them, and I want to make sure I attach these together. I'm going to duplicate these twice since I'm making 3 of them. I'm going to make one of these pink, the other one blue, and the last one orange. Now I'm ready to hit the make button. First it'll start off cutting out those cardstock inserts, then it will go onto the vinyl. For the first cut setting, I'll select medium cardstock. For the other 3, I'll select the premium vinyl permanent glossy. I place the cardstock on the mat and the Cricut will cut it out. My kids have been on summer break for 1 week already, and the weather has been awful. It's been raining, gloomy. It's been in like the 50s and 60s. My kids and I are definitely ready for it to warm up a little bit. All of this vinyl has a protective sheet over it, so I like to cut it down to the size that I need using a paper cutter. The rulers and the paper cutters are so nice, it makes it really easy. I like to cut just a little bit bigger than I need to, just to make sure that I have enough space for the Cricut to cut out my design. I remove that protective sheet, then place the vinyl on my cutting mat for the Cricut to cut it out. Then I'll follow the same process for the other 2 vinyl sheets. I'm cutting off that excess vinyl, then I'm going to weed the design. Like I thought, the little dashes are definitely difficult to weed, so if you are wanting to use this design, just be aware of that before. I decided just to weed it quickly, almost rip it off like a band-aid. I did lose some pieces, so I'm going to go in and add those back in. This for sure takes some patience, especially since I'm making 3 of them, but I do think it'll be worth it. You might be able to find a solid line instead of a dashed line, and that might work better. Other than the dashed lines, the letters cut out very well, and it was easy to weed the inside of the letters using my pen tool. I'm going to put this whole orange one together first, so I'm going a little bit out of order. I'm going to glue the white cardstock to the insert. I'd actually prefer to use double-sided tape, but I was totally out, so I just grabbed one of my kids' glue sticks. The glue stick actually worked really well. If you are traveling by like an airplane, what's nice is you can still have all your info on one side and it can be really cute on the other side. I add a transfer sheet to the vinyl. I scrape it down really well on the front and back. I want to make sure all those little dashes stick down onto the transfer tape. I always like to clean my blanks with rubbing alcohol before I add the vinyl. It just really helps it have a clean surface to stick to. I sped this up, but as I remove the transfer tape, I do it slowly just to make sure everything is sticking down. It looks like I missed a piece, but I'm so excited about how cute these are going to be. My transfer tape sheet is such a mess, but I am going to try the reverse weeding method for this one. To do this, you place the whole transfer sheet over the vinyl, then scrape it down really well. Then I remove the backing. As you can see, a piece is trying to pick up, so I scrape it back down with my squeegee. Then you go in and weed out that excess vinyl. The pieces that you want just sticks onto the transfer sheet. As I was doing this, some of it still was just not sticking down onto the transfer sheet, so it was kind of a similar thing. Thankfully, the pieces are all there, but it just is a little tedious to apply it back to the transfer tape. I do think if I set the pressure to more, it would have cut those little pieces maybe a tiny bit better. Either way, this is just a difficult design to work with. I'm not going to make you watch me weed the third one. I have it all done off camera and I'm adding it to my last luggage tag. I'm going to add the cords on, then they'll be done. I just love how these turned out. They're so colorful and fun. I didn't want to get a suitcase out from the storage room, so I grabbed my daughter's backpack just to show you how you attach it. Her backpack is pretty dirty from the school year. I really need to go through all their end of year school things, wash their backpacks. It's on my to-do list. For my next project, I'll be adding vinyl to these inflatable drink holders. I'm making these for my kids. We have a little outdoor pool, and I think these will be fun for them for this summer. This set comes with 15 different designs. My kids picked out which ones they want. They're made of PVC plastic, so vinyl should stick well to these, and they're designed to hold 12 to 15 ounce drinks. These are fun for kids or adults. They would be great for pool days, birthday parties, bachelorette parties, things like that. These are the vinyl colors I chose to go with each inflatable. I'm blowing these up before I add vinyl to them. Look how fun these are. I was trying to figure out the size for these, and I think 2.5 inches will be great for the width. In Design Space, that makes it a little over 1 inch. Now I'll head over to Cricut to show you how I put all this together. I'm going to click on text and grab a font. The font I'm using is called Funky Grunge. I found this on Creative Fabrica, and I can link it down in my description box. It's a really fun font, I feel like, especially for summer. I'm going to hit Command D to duplicate this. Then I'll type in one of my daughter's names. I'll hit Command D again and type in my youngest. I decided to do 2.5 inches for my width, so I will go in and do that for all of these. One thing that I don't like about this is Josh is a lot bigger because it only has 4 letters. Sometimes when that happens, I like to make the bigger word the same font size. I'm going to look at Quinn. Hers says 97 font size. Emmy is about 94. I think I'm going to do 95. I love changing the font size to make it all look uniform. Now all I have to do is change the color. Josh is going to be blue. Emmy is going to be purple. And Quinn is going to be green. These are all the vinyl colors that I'm using for their names. I'm going to select Premium Vinyl Permanent Glossy again, but this time I am going to select more for the cut pressure, and I think it'll work a lot better. I'm going to cut these down to size as well. I'm thinking about doing a 4th of July video coming up. I did one, I think it was a couple years ago, and it didn't seem like it got too much interest. So I'm curious, would you guys like to see a video like that? I love these pastel colors. They're so pretty. I'm going to go in and remove that sheet on all of these to make sure I don't forget. I'm curious, what's your favorite summer Cricut project you've ever made? So many people craft during the holidays, and I want to know what people are making during the summertime. I was taking some pictures of my kids this summer already, and it made me think I really want to take up scrapbooking, even though I don't have time to do it. But I just started thinking of all the cool things I can cut out with my Cricut for it. My mom made the coolest scrapbooks when we were kids, and I think it would be so fun to do it for this summer. All my pictures just stay on my phone, and I don't have anything printed out. I have made digital photo books in the past, but I just really want to give scrapbooking a try. Now I'm ready to add the names to the inflatables. The vinyl sticks so well to these. I'm sure you'll want to keep the air in these and not let it deflate with the vinyl on. I made these a few days ago, and they're still holding up well with the air inside. I'm using the same transfer sheet for all three of these. It makes it nice to be able to reuse it. I was trying to figure out where to put this because there were so many sprinkles in the way, but I decided just to place it directly over them, and I think it looks fine. Here's how the inflatable drink holders turned out. I think they're just so cute, and they're very easy to personalize with vinyl. These probably could be blown up a tiny bit more. I tried to push that stopper in it without any air coming out, and it's really hard. If anybody has tricks for that, let me know. Here's how they look with cups inside. For my last project, I'll be adding the vinyl to an acrylic bookmark. I read a lot of books on my Kindle, but I also read a lot of physical books, usually ones from the library. I'm reading one right now and realized I don't have a fun summary bookmark, so I'm excited to make one. These are the vinyl colors I chose for this project. I'm in Cricut Design Space, and I bought the acrylic bookmarks from someone I found on TikTok. I will link all her stuff down in my description box. But when you get the bookmark, you also get a download of the template. I've uploaded this into Cricut Design Space when I made one previously. Here it is. I'll hit the plus to bring it into Cricut Design Space. It gives you two for some reason. I'm going to delete this black one. I'm going to group this back together, and I'm going to make it a guide. What's nice about it being a guide is when you go to the make screen, it won't be there. You don't have to hide it or anything. The sizing on here is a little off. I'm going to change it with what I measured. I forgot to film that, but the width was 1.187 and the height was 5.5. I was looking for a summary bookmark in Creative Fabrica. I was honestly kind of struggling to find one, but I ended up downloading this one. I already have it uploaded in Cricut, so I'll bring that into my canvas. It pulls it in really large, so I'm just going to make it smaller. This design is put together a little weird. There's a couple random dots. What I'll do is hit the ungroup button. I have to hit it again. Now I can delete this dot and this dot. I'm also going to delete this black bookmark shape, which honestly, you don't even need the template. You can just use this if you want to. But I'll hit delete. I think this is super cute. At first, I had in mind like a beachy flip-flop sun type bookmark, but with the pastel colors, I think this will be really pretty. All of my layers are ungrouped right now. I don't want to move anything around because I want it to be just like this, so I'm just trying to be careful with that. The big flowers, I'm going to make those pink. So I'll just come up here and pick a random pink color. The little flowers, I'm going to do orange. Then the leaves are going to be green. For these dots, I'm going to alternate them with orange and pink. This first one, I'll do pink. It's nice that Cricut has the colors in your project up here. You want to make sure you're selecting the same color. I'll do orange for this one. I'm trying to make sure the colors are kind of spaced out evenly, so I'll do pink for this one. And this last one I'll do pink. Typically, I'll use Color Sync to change the rest. I think I might for the green leaves, but the flowers are difficult to tell which one's which. They're the same shape, just different sizes. I think I'll do the leaves first. For some reason, there's 3 odd shapes in here. It looks like it goes with this. I'm going to go back to my layers. I'm going to delete this random line, I think. Then for these, I'm going to attach them all together. As you can see, I have all 3 selected and I'll hit attach. They should have automatically been attached, but this SVG file is just a little wonky, I feel like. Now I'll change these colors. That looks so pretty. Now I need to attach all the like colors together. I'm going to start with the pink. I'll click on one, I'll hit shift on my keyboard, then select the other pinks. I'll come down to the bottom right and select attach. I am going to move this so I can make sure all the pinks did attach. It looks like they did. I'll hit the undo button to bring it back. I want to click on this orange, but I can't. To fix that, I can just send the pink to the back, then I can click on the orange. I'll hit attach again. I'll double check that those are all connected. Then I'll do the last one, the greens. For the greens, I think it'll be easier to grab them all from the layers panel. I'll select one, hit shift on my keyboard, then select the rest. I'll hit attach, and that one looks good. Now what I'm going to do is highlight over this whole thing. I'll select group to make it easier to line it all up together, and I'm just going to make it fit inside of this bookmark. I think this size looks good. It looks like it's about 5 inches for the height and 1.156 for the width. Now I can click the make button. I'm going to select the same cut setting and change the pressure to more. I'm going to cut my vinyl down. For this project, I forgot to take off that protective sheet not once, but twice. I didn't show it in the video, but I had to cut 2 of them out again. If you are a reader, are you reading any fun summer books right now? I am reading the book Look Closer. It's a thriller. I just started it and it's set during Halloween time, so I really need to find a summer type book after that. I cut out the center of the flowers first. It makes it so much easier to weed it, but here I'm just weeding super slowly to make sure nothing picked up. This is another tiny, intricate design, but this time the Cricut did really well. I'm sure switching the pressure to more helped, and I do think those dashes are just going to be hard no matter what. Does anyone else use the Libby app? It's so awesome, but lately any books that I want, it's a several months wait. I think just too many people are using it, but I've actually been able to find books much faster just at the library, even though I prefer to read on my Kindle. With this design, you need to layer the 3 colors together. To do this, I'm going to add each design to the same transfer tape. Using a parchment paper sheet in between the 2 makes it so much easier to line it up, but I was completely out, so I'm having to eyeball it here. You can't see it, but I have my computer sitting next to me so I can take a look at the design as I do it. Eyeballing it isn't ideal because when you're layering, you want it to all be lined up, but thankfully it did work out for me this time. I removed the backing and I have the 2 colors on one transfer sheet. Now I'm going to add the last one to it. The backing wasn't big enough for this, so I added one of the other vinyl backings just so the vinyl doesn't stick to that mat. I had to really make sure I lined it up right, so I did it off camera because my head was going to be in the way. But here I've added my transfer tape over that green leaf design. The bookmark has a protective sheet over both sides. I like to use my pin tool in the corner to help remove it. Now I'm ready to place the design on my bookmark. I scrape it down really well, then I remove the transfer tape. I'm going to add chiffon ribbon. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I always think this looks really pretty with bookmarks. Here's how I add ribbon to my bookmarks. I'm sure there's other ways, but this is just how I've always done it. I just love how beautiful this bookmark turned out. I've made so many different kinds of bookmarks with my Cricut, but the acrylic ones tend to be my favorite. That is it for today's video. I'll put all the links down in my description box. Thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you are new to my channel.